Hi, thanks for joining us. My name is Tracy Cook, and this is the Visionary Women series. Join us now for an enlightening conversation with a woman who is not just a leader in her field, but she is a game changer. She's blazing new trails and creating opportunities for others to follow. You won't want to miss what Clare Williamson has got to say and some valuable insights and wisdom that she has to share. Welcome to the Visionary Women series, Clare.
Hey Tracy, how you going?
It's absolutely fantastic. I know you're in Mexico in one of your wonderful retreats at the moment. I hope you'll share a little bit about that with us in this episode as well. But we met back in 2019. For our audience, a little bit of a backstory, how I know Clare. She's a very good friend of mine, and she is a visionary woman who is changing the world, literally. And we met in 2019 on a reality entrepreneur show. And it's amazing how much can change in a month, a year, a couple of years. So it's fantastic to watch your journey, see your growth and your movement and your change and your wonderful family grow as well. So Clare, tell us a little bit about who you are, what you do, and what your vision is for the future.
Yeah, I'm now emotional. Just thinking back, you were absolutely right. I'm a transformational coach, and like you, I work with visionary light leaders. So those people who are going out helping other people have thought leadership, ideas, want to blaze trails. And we work from the inside out. So we are looking to explode your income, explode your impact, and explode your influence. But we're doing it with transformational coaching, working from the inside out, making that change on the inside so that you push through your own ceilings, you blast through those visibility walls that you're facing and those blocks, the resistance that we feel when it comes to really stepping into our path, really following our soul's goal.
And how did you get into this, in finding your soul goal and wanting to create transformations? Is this something that you had to do personally in your personal growth and your business growth as well? How did you step into all of this power?
Absolutely, yes. So 2019, I signed up to my own business coach. I took that step. I invested thousands of dollars into a business coach to help me with my business, which at the time was helping people to share their personal story on social media. And I got the business support. I got the inside look at the strategy, and I kept facing my own inner blocks. And I ended up investing outside of that mastermind into spiritual coaching and getting support with subconscious reprogramming, working with the mind. And this was already something that I was very curious about, very passionate about, because a couple of years previously, I'd had my own journey overcoming anxiety. And I'd started to learn about the power of the brain and the fact that we're only using such a tiny piece of it. And I'd also started to bring my own body into the journey as well, like really understanding that my trauma's held in memory in the body. But I hadn't gone deep with this work. And so I went deep with this work with myself, and the shift was incredible. I took my income from 10K months to 40K months. And I saw how this internal work is such a huge piece. And I felt frustrated that, I'd had to invest 3 times, 3 different programs to be able to get that holistic support that I needed for my business. And so I came up with this idea of creating my own mastermind where you had that one-stop shop. But I realized that I still had, I still had a journey to go within myself. I needed certain pieces of education. I needed a way of bringing it all together, which is when I discovered breathwork. So I connected with an incredible company called Soma Breath, and they took me on this neurosomatic journey, realizing, how do I release this trapped memory in my body? How do I use the breath? How do I use movement? How do I use, music to fire up parts of my brain that have been dormant my whole life? And I brought all of this into what I do now. And in that process, we talked last time, actually, Tracy, um, you know, we often find that when we take these journeys in life, when we step into our greatness, we meet our biggest challenges. And I met mine. It was almost like a pressure cooker. all of the ways that I was in my world that still needed to change, which for me was still the control piece, you know, needing to have my hand on every single part of my business, needing to hustle effectively to make money. That got pushed into this pressure cooker where the lid blew off, and I experienced the biggest challenge in my life so far, which was being so distracted, being so tired that I actually caused an accident with my dog, which led him to pass away. And this put the brakes on everything. It was like, you know, this realization that the way I was in my business, the way I had this unhealthy control, the way I still felt like I was this key piece in how money is made, it had to stop. You know, it was like the universe was shining down to me. Come on, Claire, everything you know, everything you've learned intellectually, it's time to put it into practice. It's time to trust. It's time to trust in this higher power. It's time to trust that actually your abundance comes from you, and that everything is a reflection on the outside of what there is within. And so what do you need to change? Who do you need to become? And with what happened with my dog, I took a massive step back. I actually began to live my life fully in ritual. I took everything that I'd learned over the previous years and I brought it into ritual in my life. I made it habit. You know, I made myself the priority. I took my hands completely off the business and left it to the universe. And I went from six figures to multiple six figures in less than 6 months. And I began to hear this call. And it was a call that I've heard before. It was like this voice from within my soul saying, you know that little girl, Claire, you know that 8-year-old girl that used to look at those forests, those rainforests, those animals and say, you know, you're going to be part of bringing a message, bringing healing, bringing hope, bringing change. I heard this call that it was time to step back into that. And that's when I connected with shamanism. And so in the last year, I've been taking a journey with shamanism, really growing my spirituality, my connection to the earth, my reconnection to the earth, my reconnection to myself. Because what I've realized is we all have that shaman within. We all have that ability to walk between the worlds, our consciousness, these altered states of consciousness that we can step into and have this divine connection, this divine intelligence to see within what needs to heal for us to truly step into our power, step into our vision, blaze those paths, like you say, you know? And so what has happened in the last year, just like you, I've brought a new brand into the market, the Millionaire Sha'woman. I'm stepping into the energy of what I want before I get there, which is what my message is. You know, if you truly want it, you bloody go there. You go there with your belief. You go there with your vision. You go there in your truth. You don't wait for anything outside of you to change, to tell you that it's possible. You're possible. Believe that. Do what it takes to believe that. Get rid of those limiting beliefs. And how we get rid of those limiting beliefs, how we shift that internal operating system, how we bring you into the energy of what you want before you have it and take you away from waiting to see it first. That's what we do in my programs. Then we bring the business strategy in. Then, you know, I've got social media strategy for days, but I also know doing what I've done for such a long time is you won't use it powerfully until you're powerful. And that's what I mean by transforming from the inside out.
That is just such a powerful place to be. And we can do all the hustle and the grind, but unless we're doing that inner work, it's just going to lay dormant. And you know, we don't want to die with that music inside of us, right? The graveyard's the most expensive real estate on earth. That's where our dreams go to die. And there's all these amazing women that really need messages like yours as a visionary woman to really go, you know what? Yeah, I do need to have a look on the inside. I do need to change. I've got awareness now. Who can I go to? Where can I go to make those changes? And they go to people like you. Because transformation and connecting true to ourselves, I passionately believe, like yourself, Claire, that that is where women need to hear voices of leaders that are making enlightening, having enlightening conversations that are going to lead them to that place of peace and joy and happiness and just being their own true selves. And once you free yourself and you go on that journey, it never ends. And I like the way you said that, Claire, because it's all about transformation. It's all about going back to who you were or becoming who you want to be. And I love the power of that you're teaching all of these women. I mean, you're sitting there now in Mexico at a retreat. People have come all around the world to come to one of your retreats to learn, neurosomatic and breath work and inner peace and a whole range of other things. And then, you can learn business and social media. Anybody can learn that, but hardly anyone wants to learn themselves, right?
And you've got to ask, why are you hustling? Why? It's like, because you're distracting yourself from the stuff within, and it's like, and the trust piece, that's huge. It's massive. If you can't sit there and say, I can take myself out of my business and I can trust that things are going to work for me, then that's where you got to go to work. That has got to be your hardest work. When my first ever mentor said to me, Claire, 80% of your work every day should be on you. And I laughed in her face. I was like, what? My business would fall down. How will I make money? That shit makes me money. The universe brings you the challenges and the awarenesses and the insights through your lived experience. That's how you don't die with the music still on in you. You live through those challenges. You take those opportunities. They're not obstacles. They're opportunities for you to live the most magical experience of life. Or would you prefer to keep hiding behind your laptop? And you're not even doing anything transformational there. You're doing the busy work. And the busy work's not changing the numbers in the bank. You truly want to see those numbers shift in your bank account? Come away from the busy work, step into something that holds your greatest fear. I just had a client share in my mastermind that she sat on the couch yesterday and she needed to leave for the airport and she was paralyzed by fear, about coming to the retreat. She'd been stuck on a business issue, some systems-based thing, and I said, go where the fear is. And the fear was to pack that suitcase, get on that plane. She's just shared these complicated graphic design thingies. I couldn't have taught her that. That's come from within her because she stepped through her fear to come here. And that's come together for her. The insight has come. And that's what happens when we step through our comfort zones. I always say to my clients, stop asking, what is my next step? Ask where the fear is and head in that direction. Go do that thing. And for me, that thing was stepping back completely. That thing was trusting that my business, and it was realizing what was at stake. There wasn't just my life at stake, my happiness, my joy, my peace of mind. There was 3 little children's, my husband, our relationship, our family, our experiences. And at some point, you've got to say to yourself, is your business a vehicle to expand your experience of life? And if you can't answer that question as yes, you aren't going and doing the things that are your soul goal, that light your soul fire, that make you feel good, then you got to change something. And being here in Mexico, that's been my own personal transformation. I said to you in our chat before this call, realizing there's still things within myself that I want to change. And I'd hoped coming to Mexico would make a difference to those. But being somewhere different doesn't change who you are. We've got to stop looking outside of ourselves and hoping. And that's exactly the same with your money situation. You can increase your income and still feel discomfort on the inside, still not find that inner peace, that happiness, that contentment. And we've seen a lot of rich people go there, Don't they say something like over half of the people who win the lottery, they still end up miserable and broke because they come back to who they are. They don't change those things, mosquito, on the inside. And so they just create the same situations with money as what they had without money. We've got to take that inner journey. I'm excited about that, Tracy. I'm shouting that message far and wide.
You are definitely a woman visionary of tomorrow, changing lives one woman at a time and helping them find their own soul goals to go and create movements worth furthering. Clare, it has been an absolute pleasure. We'll be sharing where to connect with Clare. If you're looking to achieve your soul goal, please connect with Clare, and she will definitely wrap you up in all her wondrous love, give you some truths that you need to hear, no doubt, and send you on your way of discovery and find your own soul goal as well. Clare, has been an absolute pleasure. Stay tuned, and we will be speaking to more visionary women on our Visionary Women series. Thanks again.